Hi guys, welcome back. My name is Akshata and today we learn how to make a content skeleton as promised in the last video. This is a part of presentation structure. This is the sixth video in the presentation basics series. If you haven't seen the previous ones, I suggest you watch those as well. So let's start. In the last video, we understood what an ideal presentation structure looks like. You have your introduction, which flows into idea 1, into idea 2, into idea 3, and finally, a proper conclusion that is linked with your introduction. Another thing is that everything revolves around your main argument. In this video, we'll understand what a content skeleton is. So, a content skeleton is a tool that you'll use to finally structure your presentations. Everything we've done before this has been factoring things in and understanding the things that you're supposed to keep in your mind, sort of the theory part. Content skeleton is now when you finally start to make your presentation. It is the first step. It works along with your research, which means you'll first make a skeleton, then you'll go and do some research, and then with the feedback from the research, you'll come and factor all that in your content skeleton. The best way I can explain it to you is by actually making one with you. So let's start. To make a content skeleton, you first need to make this table, factor in your target audience, your main argument, and the total time that is allotted to you. What this does is that it reinforces these components in your brain so you don't forget them while structuring your presentation. Because when you're drowning in research and working with deadlines, it's almost too easy to forget all else. Then you start filling in the columns, serial number, you'll write the topic that you'll talk about, the presentation aids that you'll use in accordance with the topic, the time allotted for that particular topic out of the total time, and finally, remarks. You want to make it very detailed and you want to work with it. This is not some pristine piece of paper that you'll make once and keep in your treasury somewhere. This is something that you'll work with till the end of your presentation. You'll constantly scribble stuff, cut things out until finally you have your presentation and you have everything ready, and then you have a final skeleton. So for example, the first thing we'll write is introduction. Presentation aids can be your PowerPoint presentation and speakers. So you could be playing a video or an audio clip with an image being displayed. Time allotted 30 seconds out of 10 minutes, which is generous, it's fine. And for remarks, you could write, don't forget your laptop, don't forget your charger, speakers also, then idea 1. Now, obviously, this idea will be particular to your topic, but a general way to make it would be like this. You could write PPT and laser pointer for presentation aids, time allotted, say 1 minute and 15 seconds, and then you scribble out the extra 15 seconds to allot them somewhere else. Again, this is something you work with. You constantly write stuff, scribble it out, write stuff, scribble it out. So then idea number 2, you could write PPT, marker, whiteboard, laser pointer. Later you realize you don't need it, so you cut it out. Time allotted 1 minute and 45 seconds. Remarks, make sure duster is available since obviously you'd be using a marker, so you'd want a duster. Then examples, you could take up some examples. That could take about 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Conclusion. And then you could take questions from the audience. It makes the presentation very interactive. And if your topic allows for it, you should definitely try to make it interactive. Then you could have a final note of thanks or otherwise, and that could take about 30 seconds. So this is how you make a content skeleton. It is very helpful not only to make your presentation, but also your cue cards if you choose to make them. This also helps you revise very easily since you can see how ideas flow from one to the next. This presents the information very clearly. You're not concerned with the design right now. You're not concerned with how it looks in the PPT. This is just pure focus on the content and how you're going to go about it, how the structure is going to be. You can clearly see how introduction goes into idea 1 and then into idea 2 and then examples. You may decide to take examples first later on, so then you can just shuffle things around and it makes it very easy for you to do that. Since it gives a very clear picture of what you're going to talk about and how you're going to talk about it, and that is what makes it very, very helpful. So personally, this structure has been immensely helpful to me, not only when I'm making presentations, but also when I'm writing essays, reports, assignments and such. I just always have this at the back of my head if I'm not making it out on a piece of paper, which I generally do, because it provides you with such a sense of clarity that it really helps you work. And yes, that's about it. Thank you so much. In the next video, we'll get into presentation design. You can find all the other videos in sequence in the presentation basics playlist. And yes, thanks a lot. I hope you learned something. If you did, please consider liking and also subscribing. In addition to that, I encourage you to ask whatever doubts you may have in the comments. And yes, thank you so much.